Hello everyone, this is Marco and welcome back to my channel. Apologies if I might sound a little bit snotty. I haven't really fully gotten over my cold yet, unfortunately. And because of that, I took a week off from making YouTube videos. But I thought I'd sort of ease myself back into it with today's video. And I've gotten my hands on some brand new official Jurassic stuff. The Jurassic World TERRAVENTURE set by Blokees. If you're like me and you never heard about them before, this is pretty much what they do. They make sort of action figures, but you kind of have to build them yourself. They're not like a model kit where you have to prepare all the pieces, sand them and glue them together. These come out straight out of the box, so you can snap them together, and then you can articulate them too. So yeah, the whole point about these figures is that they're buildable. When I first saw the promotional images, I was a little bit hesitant because, at the time not knowing fully what they did, they just looked like stylized generic kiddie toys that we kind of already have in the Jurassic toy line. But then after realizing that these things actually have to be built, then that adds a whole new layer to the experience. And I did some more digging and I think there's some actual real potential with these guys. Let me explain. Blokees have also worked with other famous brands and IPs like Disney, Hasbro, Pokemon, Ultraman, Transformers, and more. But I would like to quickly talk about the Transformers line, for example. They have split that line into multiple tiers. The first tier, which is pretty much what we have gotten for the Jurassic World line so far with Blokees, is a stylized, more simplified version of what we see on screen. Then there's a middle tier with better proportions and more paint applications and all that sort of stuff. And then there's an ultimate tier for collectors with movie accurate sculpts and collector grade paint and all that sort of stuff. So you see where I'm getting at here. There is potential, and here's hoping that one day we'll get an alternative for collector grade figures for the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World franchise. So that's a quick introduction as to what they do. Let's take a closer look at this TERRAVENTURE set, which is Blokees' brand new animal-themed product line. And they literally just introduced this brand new line with Jurassic World. What you see right now is a 12-pack box set, and I really like the design of this whole packaging. It looks like a big crate. We get some nice pictures on the front of the products that are inside. As you can see, there's quite a wide range of what you could get inside. You get all sorts of dinosaurs, carnivores and herbivores alike, and I can see some rebirth dinosaurs there too. There's a Spinosaurus, but you also can get some dinosaur skeletons in there. But it's not just that, you can also get vehicles, complete with capture gear as well. How cool is that? And again, I love how this box looks like a crate. If you look at the sides, you can see some wooden paneling and stuff, and the Jurassic World logo is on the side, and it's meant to look like it's been stenciled, sprayed on. It's a really cool little touch. On this side of the box, you can see a little example of how to assemble your figures to give you an idea of what to expect inside. And here's the barcode too, if you're interested in getting one. So I think we should go ahead and open up this box. It's pretty simple to do. As you can see, there's this really cool sort of holographic metallic pull tab thingy right here with the Blokees logo. So just slip your finger in there and pull it off, and we can remove the cellophane. And we can finally access the box and open it up. First thing I noticed straight away is that there's a little bit of a dotted line around the pictures on the front. It's like a cutaway line. If you want, you can tear the box open there. That means we can use this box as kind of a display box as well. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to spoil it, so I'm going to open it from the front like this. And here we go. Here are all 12 of those boxes. As you can see on the picture on the side of each box, you could get one of these figures. And if you're lucky enough, you could get the chance of getting an extra piece inside that is part of a much bigger figure. Once and if you get all the pieces and assemble them together, you can have your very own big T-Rex skeleton. And from what I can see, if you purchase this big box set, you're pretty much guaranteed to get your own big T-Rex skeleton. A piece of the skeleton could be hidden inside one of these boxes, specifically in the ones marked by that green footprint. So let's go ahead and open up one of these boxes. There's another one of these pull tab things here, so we just rip it off and get that cardboard box open. We're greeted by a plastic baggie with all the pieces inside and a card, which has a picture of the dinosaur that is included in the baggie and all the instructions you need to assemble your figure. Let's open that baggie up and have a look at all of the pieces. And my goodness, there's quite a few, but do not fret. These instructions are pretty clear and it's all quite easy to assemble. I put the card on the right side of the screen so you can follow exactly what I'm doing. Let's start with step number 1. Grab the 2 halves of the head and push them together. And then grab the bottom jaw piece and just slide it on. For step number 2, we need the 2 halves of the torso and those white peg things right there. We need to identify which peg goes where and then squeeze everything together. For step 3, we're going to be doing the legs. We have the right and the left leg, of course. Each leg is formed by 2 pieces. There's no indication on the pieces of plastic themselves which part belongs to the right or the left leg, but if you've got a keen eye, you can easily tell them apart. For step 4, we're just assembling all the parts together. So put the head on the body, and then put the limbs on the body, and then put the tail on the body too. And that's it for the first figure. This is Velociraptor Blue. You might have noticed there's some extra pieces in there, and that's because we have Beta in there too. So for step 5, we're putting the head piece in between the body parts, and then putting the legs on. And there we go, that's it for our first box. We have 2 figures for the price of 1. Each box contains a figure that features 9 to 11 core points of articulation for dynamic play. And another cool aspect about these figures is that they have a universal joint system. Parts are freely interchangeable across Blokees products, enabling creative mods and personalized builds. You can pretty much build your own hybrid dinosaur if you want. As far as sculpt goes, yes, it is stylized, but it's easily recognizable as one of the characters from the film. I'd like to say that the head sculpt in particular is pretty accurate for what it is, and I believe that these sculpts are probably the best you can find at this scale. These are purposefully and intentionally stylized for a reason. And if these look so good already, I can only imagine how nice the sculpts would be on the collector grade ones. So fingers crossed we get the other tiers too. As far as paint goes, this one is sort of a metallic variant. It does have painted eyes, which by the way, it's very nicely applied, it's super crisp. But there are some other painted variants of this figure and of the T-Rex too. And while we were opening this next set, talking about T-Rex, there's one right there. I'm not going to unbox and assemble all of them like this because it's going to take forever. But I think we can turn this into a little bit of a game. Sora's joining us and we're going to turn this into a race. Whoever completes their build first wins a point. So I would like to warmly welcome everyone to the Marco Makes Blokees Championship Tournament. Let the games begin.
Round 1. Well done.
Look at that, we got a really cool blue vehicle with some capture gear in the front and this cool brown T-Rex. Let's open up the next boxes.
Round 2. Outstanding.
We've got another vehicle, this time with a cage on the back and a T-Rex skull. Let's move on to the next boxes.
Round
3.
Impressive.
We have a really cool electric blue translucent Spinosaur and a cool helicopter. Let's open up the next boxes.
Round
4.
Excellent.
We have a brown Spino and a Stegosaur skeleton. Time to move on to the next boxes.
Round
5.
well done.
We have a Triceratops and a Stygimoloch in a cage. So yes, I am the champion. Anyway, let's move on and have a look at the rest of these figures. We have a fully fleshed out Stegosaur this time. Throughout the games, we got all the pieces for the T-Rex skeleton, the nice big one. So, after assembling all the parts, this is what it looks like, and I love it. Although I'm not sure why it says Tyrannosaurus Rex skull right there, should say skeleton. But other than that, this thing is my favorite one. And these are all of the figures in all their glory. It's such a nice little set. If you decide to get this big box, I highly recommend, as not only you're guaranteed to get a cool T-Rex skeleton or skull, but you're getting a comprehensive look at the line. In terms of assembling them, they're quite easy, but there is something that is a little bit tricky. Again, some parts aren't marked with what's supposed to be left and what's supposed to be right, and some parts are quite tough to squeeze together. I can understand why Sora's fingers started to hurt after a little while, but yeah, I do believe that the whole building part of these toys adds a lot to the experience. Overall, these are some very good quality toys, very well designed, and I'm pretty surprised at how well everything fit together. There were barely any seam lines. Let me know what you think about this whole line and its potential. Let me know which figure is your favorite, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Stay safe, and thanks so much for watching. We need to identify which pig. We need to identify which pig goes.